Welcome to my premeditated thoughts of my art. The crowd is the gallery. I do it because I love it, no salary. Gradually, my thoughts might become yours, but I'm not sure. Because for you to identify...
See, I done came so far from being scared, maybe nervous. But proper preparation has me fully prepared for a purposeful performance. So while they snoring, I'm soaring like an eagle that's torn. And I hope that this inspires you the way it inspired me.
Diamonds are all we seem to think about, because we all want to shine like times.
Yeah, man, I'm just a kid from 93rd St. Clair.
But it's never cool to spend your time in a square. But I ain't gonna go there. So maybe I just leave that thought locked up.
I grew up with my mom, single parent household. I got a younger brother named Pudge, another younger brother named Bo. Pudge's name is Bradley too. He's gonna be mad at me for saying that name too. But it's Bradley, that's my little bro, man. And I come from a pretty decent stock, man. Like I was raised to respect people, be kind to people, don't take no trash from nobody for the most part, but you be nice, you just don't take no shit from nobody, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much the book of what I come from as far as family structure. But man, for me, my story is pretty much to where I got now and where I'm at now in life as a poet. I went to Toledo, man. I went to high school, skipping through though, but as far as I went to high school, like Glenville High School. Now being a man and looking back, man, I see that educational system didn't really prepare me for the things that I should be prepared for right now. No thanks to Cleveland Public School, you know what I mean? But I value the environment, how it made me look at life, and how I receive people, and how it builds courage. But at one point, I had the courage that I needed. I went to Toledo, a university, and I went to school there. And I didn't finish school. Right guy, though, pretty much retained everything that I received. I was still studying social work, and I wanted to counsel. But I went there, man. I left there after a few years. My reason for leaving, man, is because I was scared to talk in front of people. I was always scared to have a conversation with people like, man, if I say this to my man, he probably gonna think like, yo, what is this guy talking about? What is he on? And that made more sense to me than my own thoughts. When I left Toledo and when I came home, I saw how real it was. I saw how real life is. As far as there's really only one or two things you do. You're doing something you love to do, or you're doing something you hate to do. And when I saw that, man, I knew me being vocal about whatever I feel was important. So what I did was I prayed, man. I prayed. I sat in the car, bro, for maybe 2.5 hours, straight prayer. And that was my first conversation I really had with God, you know what I mean, fully. And I prayed for him to give me a gift, give me something, a tool for me to not be scared to speak in front of people or to people, to let you know how I feel about life, or how I feel about your time, or how I feel about that, you know, with the camera, or whatever it may be able to voice whatever I feel. And I asked for that. And next thing you know, 2 months after that prayer, I was writing. I started writing poetry out of nowhere. But in the beginning, I didn't really want to write poetry because it's like, yo, that's not a cool thing to do. He's a guy to write poetry. Violets are blue. You know what I mean? That type of thing. And so for me, it was that was a challenge, even after he had gave me a gift. Like, man, do I showcase this with everybody? But I wrote everything that I had down, and my mom heard it. It was called Papermate, in my phone. And my mom was like, yo, let me read this to me, how you wrote it. And I recited it to her. And then she's like, yo, you gotta let your brother hear. And after I let my brother hear, he was like, yo, you gotta let the fellas hear. After I let the fellas hear, they said you need to go to an open mic. After the open mic, at the Underground, which again, I was scared of my man Tut, Bashir Jones, Underground Queen, One Truth, Song Child, these different poets throughout the city who have been doing it a little bit longer than me, but was getting busy on that mic. And I was at the point in my life where it was like, man, I'm already scared to speak, and now I have to go and speak behind somebody that's speaking so well. And what they giving up is so powerful, you know what I mean? So but I took that challenge on. After I prayed for what I prayed for, I ain't got no choice. I gotta go forward now. I want something out of life. I want to do something different. I want my voice to be heard. That's where it actually started. And after I went to that open mic, man, I started frequenting the B-side liquor lounge on Coventry. Try to hone my craft. I started performing more around my friends and trying to give it up how I give it up from how I feel about a situation. I started writing even more. And from that, man, just to fast forward through, since then, which was 3 years ago is when I started, Since then, I created my own poetry venue, which we started off at Wordplay down at 49th in St. Clair, which was a smaller venue. And then we actually moved from 49th to St. Clair down to the Blue Rock, which is now part of Tavo. Shout out to Chris King too, by the way. But I was down there before he came to and after I left there, I went to the Exhale, and that's when I joined forces with my man LS Royal. And he had his thing going down at Soulful Expressions, down at Caribbean Joe. And we were both doing Wednesday nights. I had a nice crowd, he had a nice crowd, and we decided to come together and say, you know, man, let's not go against each other on Wednesday nights. Let's bring, we pretty much bringing the same exact message. We bringing the same exact feeling on what we want the city to hear, what we want people to understand that, yo, it's people out here that feel exactly how you feel. You come through with a crowd of them, you know what I'm saying, shoot, you gotta shoot, because poetry is there. And me and him had that same vision, we had that same type of insight, so me and him going for us is now that's where I'm at, the Exhale Lounge, man. And that's what happened in this small period of time, as well as we visited pretty much every Cleveland public school in the city, you know what I mean, churches. I performed at the House of Blues, the night Marsha Ambrosius was here. I performed at Camp Mueller with Bashir Jones, man, when we reaching out to those young boys. It was I believe it was all 7th graders, all 8th graders that trip. And we just pretty much sat and we talked with them. They had presentations. It was very successful. It was a successful movement, man, for that day, for that situation. And I brought Bashir Jones for that, man, for getting me involved with that. But beyond that, I took my entire neighborhood to the Apollo Theater, which is something major to me, something huge, because I remember coming from being terrified to speak. Terrified to speak, though. You understand what I'm at? Like, terrified to speak. And then next thing you know, I'm in front of the Apollo Theater, man, actually looking at it, smiling. Didn't care how I was about to go, to be honest, as far as, like, yo, I'm at the Apollo Theater. I came a long way, so that's a sense of accomplishment.
Welcome to my thoughts. What up, listeners? Let's start the show.
Yeah, man, with some of the things that I do at the schools, some of the schools, I done been to FDR, there, FDR's graduation. Ginn Academy, Hazel over there. Ginn, they actually pulled me in to come and talk to the kids, you know, for like their morning session. It's an all-boys school, man. They definitely putting forward the effort to make sure that these young men are coming out right like they should. But when I went over there and talked with them and spoke with them, I went, I think, a day after Will Smith was there. And I talked with them in their morning session, you know, and I performed some of my poetry and pretty much tell them what I'm telling you. It's cool to do something different. It's cool to be different. It's fresh to be different. You know what I mean? Opposed to just following whatever the trend might be, knowing that it don't fit who you are as a person. You know what I mean? Just being honest to yourself. And that's some of the stuff I sit back and talk with them more so about. You know what I mean?
Diamonds are all we seem to think about.
He hit me with B.Holsey, right? You the dude that came to school and was spitting, like, you know, spitting out poetry to us. And the doctor was talking to us about life. I'm like, yeah. It was crazy that he remembered me. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like that's dope. But that's the type of impact that I want to have. I kind of want to leave something behind for somebody to remember. That's worth remembering anyway. And when I go over there and I talk with them, I just talk with them about life and try to be there for them like in a big brother direction, man. And just talk with them. Let them know life, man, be tough for all of them. Even, you know what I'm saying, for the ones that got it, we talking financially. The ones that got it, life tough, you know what I'm saying? Health, we all go through, we all lose people. And just talk to them and try to be that, man, the best way I can. I'm saying Ginn Academy because I went to Glenville High School. Bill, I know what time it is.
Uncle that's paid, like Bill. And Steve.
What's fresh to me?
Then Jeff.
Fresh to me, man, is a way of living, man. It's about what's important to you, about enhancing somebody else's life, man. Enhancing somebody else's vision, enhancing somebody's, better yet, not even just somebody's, but enhancing your way of thinking. If you're not mentally trying to take yourself to the next level, you everything but fresh. You know what I mean? But if you got that, you got those things that I'm mentioning, and you're trying to sharpen yourself every day, whether it be for you, for your mother, for your father, for whoever's around. That's the definition of fresh to me, man. And that's where I'm at as a person. That's how I think. You know, as a human being, you should care yourself, and those should be the things that's more important. You know what I mean? Definitely when it comes to a community. When it comes to me personally, I got a little daughter named Carter. My world. When it comes down to her, if I wasn't training myself to prepare her for what this world offers, which is not much from the conditions that I come from, man, that's not fresh. If I'm not doing those things, you know what I mean, as a man. And so to answer that question, man, there's so many ways. To be a man is fresh. To be a man is fresh.
When you have not one element.
Real quick, I'm gonna get into this, man. Something that's fresh is just play. Family matters. You know what I mean? That was a great segue, right? Yeah.
So I write.
It touches on so much, man. It's definitely a great piece of work, man. Like I said earlier when we was talking off camera, my man, I want to say to talk with my man Ted again. He backing me, man. He helping me out with the situation, man, and he there for me. He behind me and keep me encouraged to push forward with it. So shout out to CCM, shout out to Ted again. That's my man. Shout out to the 49ers too. But you know, I got him behind me, man. I talked to my man Frank West. He's supposed to be playing a big part in this play, you know. So we thinking about CSU. I'm working with intelligent consulting company. Wendy Peterson over there, that's my people, man. She's doing all the editing and everything of that nature and helping me out on my first journey. This is my first time out. So I hope that it's everything that people want to receive, but I know that it's everything that people need to receive. Because it's all the things that we choose not to say, man. We focus on so much, man. We focus on so much that's not right, that keep us down as people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to sound too Afrocentric, but at the same time, I do every bit of it. You know what I mean? Because that's what's important. Ralph feel that his father is vindictive, violated his values, so he started shopping with the city. But eventually, he would run into a wall, and the only thing he would have left is his smarts. But if you take away those two S's and take everything I just gave you and put it into a cart, you will have been seen that it's time for checkout. I'm gonna double back on that. Ralph feels that his father is vindictive, violated his values, so he started shopping with the city. Value City. But eventually he would run into a wall, and the only thing he will have left is his smarts. But if you take away those two S's and take everything I just gave you, which was Walmart, and put it into a cart, you would have seen that it's been time for checkout. But check out while Ralph is now walking around town with his chest out. See, his inner beast been locked in a cage at a zoo, but now he's loose and not thinking about curriculum. So every soul that walked past his cage falls victim. But see, this is what happened when these young boys start going through these phases and these stages. They start gambling with their life at the horseshoe. They lost like Vegas, and they speeding through life but can't read the gauges. And my man Ralph, life is so cold it can be in a book, but I'm afraid if he keeps going this route, there might not be enough pages. And the worst thing a man could ever do is let a talent become wasted. And the picture is no longer clear to my man Ralph, so he now traces. But meanwhile, Sasha's working uptown as a waitress, trying to save up enough cash to get out of Graham's basement. And because of that, Sasha is fierce and can no longer see Chauncey's halo. So in the meantime, she says hello to a new world of caseloads of Prego. She's a waitress. I'll leave it there for that person.
Be a woman and give me something decent to propose to. Because your smile would be the reason that I chose you. So let my style be the reason that you choose me. Or let my personality be the gravity that pulls you closer to be. Cause you gotta be down to earth. For what it's worth, if you put some change in a purse, she'll let you get a good look at a pocketbook. But then again, that was gonna happen anyway. She just letting them use the wrong pen. Welcome to my thoughts that I write on dead trees, in hopes that you catch every thought like loose leaves. See where I'm from, branches of government is irrelevant when you have not one element of encouragement to succeed. But what's funny is that we think that we know everything.